So, Joey starts this off by saying that there's a lot of them, which I guess is meant to prove that they're a rookie team. There are 6 opponents that we gotta deal with right now, but not all of them are going to leave their bases anyway, so we should be okay. The biggest issue is just not using our Dark team against that King of Yamamakai there. Now, I think I'm actually just going to send him up and try dealing with the roaming monsters, because I know that Joey and Jessel can handle this okay. Wait, actually... Yeah, you're a fiend, but we'll be okay, since you guys don't have any items. What is the special effect of Worm Blaze, though? Curious about that. We'll put Joey out here, just in case. At least they give us enough time to prepare between fights. I think that's the biggest plus to this, because some of those other fights in Kaiba's campaign, they'd blitz us one right after another. I'm gonna say it here, the only reason that Joey's campaign is considered the hard mode is more so just because the enemies are naturally high level enough that their attacks all have the secondary effects, whereas there's a lot of instances in Kaiba's campaign where we get blitzed almost immediately. Like, if you remember Mission 4 from Kaiba's campaign, that one was actually pretty damn hard, just because we had to survive a bunch of enemies in rapid succession. Although, to be fair, we had a Constructor with us at the time, so we could have fortified our defenses, but you get what I mean. Man, they like targeting the Summoned Skull. Okay, what is your secondary effect? That could be a problem. So if I do this, the next attack that hits the Shadow Ghoul should finish it off. Then I'll heal the skull. Actually, the Skull is another monster from this generation of the series. Yeah, I know. Or was that a subtitle name? Because it might not have been present in the card game itself, but I know it was originally in the manga somewhere. Somewhere. There were a whole bunch of early old-school monsters that just never really came around, or they were only in the anime or manga for some weird reason. I think the funniest example is Bat. Just Bat. It's a level 1 normal monster that was never in the TCG. I'm pretty sure it's in Master Duel, though. Then there were a bunch of cards that were printed way later than they should have been. I don't know, the whole thing is just kind of weird to me. Because it's like, most of the reason these cards exist and have unique gameplay styles is because of the actual series, and they were just meant to introduce the concept to make people want to buy the physical cards. But then, in a lot of cases, the physical cards never came out, so I don't understand what the point was, really. And if I remember correctly, GX is notorious for this, where there were just a lot of minor cards that were never actually printed anywhere. I think one of the funniest examples, just because of how different it was, is manga Stratos. So Elemental Hero Stratos is pretty much a necessity for any Elemental Hero build, but the manga iteration of the card is just functionally something not even remotely similar. I think all it does is do some weird direct attack nonsense. Man, they really do not like Summoned Skull. I guess he's like an easy target for these things. So the poison should finish off the worm during its turn. There we go. Easy. Alright, then after this second set, we'll put Joey's team in points. If you go into this crevice here that looks pretty obvious, like something's supposed to be there, that's where you're going to find the roaming team. It's weird, because I'm pretty sure every other time we've been on this map in the other campaigns, nothing was there. So I'm curious why this one specifically is the one they chose. I guess for this being Kaiba's first mission, it makes sense they put something in the bushes. They figure the player's gonna beeline to the opponent. What is going on? Like, every attack they've launched so far. Almost every attack, anyway. Way more than it should be. I'm just gonna defend. They're gonna hit him again anyway, so I'm just gonna defend. It's a shame Dragon Zombie's attack stat isn't a little higher, but at least the poison is pretty reliable. The freak. Just off. Alright, fine, get the worm. If I keep getting poisoned, I think I'm actually going to surrender this fight and tag the team out. It's a little risky right now. What? You bypassed it? No way. Damn it. That's not good. Okay, frick. Change of plans. Yeah, I think I'm 100% gonna tag out now, because I cannot risk them going down here. Just retreat. Yeah, I need to give them a minute to heal. Alright, this fool's gonna poison somebody. If I can rush all my attacks against it, then I don't have to worry too much. I think this does less damage, but this lowers its power. If I read that correctly, anyway. That's not a huge difference in damage, anyway. Ice Storm, get them both. Alright, next attack, the worm goes down, then I just gotta worry about his Axe Raider. Not a crazy amount of damage. Oh, frick. I'm just gonna Red Medicine, hell with it. I can't risk that, they hit too hard. No, never mind. Maybe the reason his campaign is considered hard is because the enemies finally figured out the strategy of, hey, centralize all your attacks on one thing so it falls over instantly. Ay, ay, ay. Like, poison is definitely not the worst status effect in this game, but you can see how it adds up over the course of a long fight. Don't have any blue medicines, do I? On Joey's team? I do. We've got a second, let's do it. There we go. I knew we were going to hit them any second. That was actually great timing. Alright, yeah, so I guess I made a smart call here. We've got Swamp Battle Guard, Battle Ox, and Dragon Seeker. So I'm going to start off with a quick attack. I'm lucky that this machine knows magic. Somehow. I don't know who the biggest threat would be. I think... I'm gonna try taking out the Battle Guard first. Seems like it can hit the hardest, and it's got the most attacks. Let me just double check, make sure I know exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to start off with a germ infection. They take gradual damage, then I can whittle them down pretty reliably. Apophis is gonna go down, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do to save this. We might lose this one. Damn it. Damn. Well, stick to the plan, I guess. Morning, Tortoise. Hope you're having a good day today. Figured I should finally get around to Joey's campaign now that I've finished off the Super Boss and Command mission. Okay, that's good. That's a step in the right direction. I don't know if we'll survive this fight, but we'll at least do some damage. Starting to think I should have brought more healing items, though. Yeah, I really should have planned this with more healing items. Damn. Ah, nice. Hope you have a good day today. Yeah, my long weekend's over, so I'm back in work tonight. I'm going in 2 hours early to do some overtime now that I got cleared on new equipment, which I'm happy about. I think if I Spellbinding Circle can... I'm winning in terms of points. If I can keep myself alive, I'll actually be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna Spellbinding Circle this punk. Trying to splice a wire and could never get it to work. If it makes you feel any better, I was doing a bit of volunteer work yesterday, and there's this... The company I was helping out, they have this automatic stamp machine. When I got there, the dude in charge, he was having this major issue because, for whatever reason... So, the original ink cartridge was about to run out. He tried replacing it, but for some reason it wouldn't accept the new cartridge. It would keep accepting the old cartridge no problem, but the new one just wouldn't go in for whatever reason. So, thankfully we were able to finish everything just using the old one. But, like, I tried using the new one. I looked at it a bunch of times, tried it in every way I could. I even called the dang company's customer service line, and for whatever reason we couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong with it. Also, I should not have won that, but I'm lucky I did. Apophis went away, but whatever. Acceptable loss. We lose one monster for 3. Yeah, thankfully we weren't in a hurry with the thing, but man, that was annoying. Alright, do they have any items? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, this'll actually be a clean win then, thank goodness. Not going to lie, I'm a tad worried because my Smash Bros. Tournament is supposed to happen this upcoming weekend, and, like, I have a reasonably good feeling, but it seems not as many people are going to show up as I had initially hoped, unless we suddenly get a last-minute wave. Which, maybe that's for the best, just because this is my first time hosting one, and I'm not 100% sure how well it's going to go. I would like it to be a huge success, but if it's at least a competently run tournament, then that's a step in the right direction, I guess. You're probably going to hear me rant and rave about that the next time I stream, if anything. Yeah, so 2 of the people who have registered, and one of these guys is almost definitely going to take the event unless somebody else comes in at the last minute. One guy who lives not too far away from my hometown goes by the title Ninja, which he actually follows this channel, so it would be funny if he randomly popped into the chat right now, but I know he's not gonna, just because of his work schedule. He, last year, was ranked as the best player in Northeast Pennsylvania, so he is almost definitely going to win, and if he doesn't, there's another guy who's a pretty big rising star up in Northeast PA right now who goes by the title Quack. He also registered. Now, I've never met Quack, but based on everything I've seen, his skill seems to be pretty good. They'll spread the word, yeah, but it's like... The problem with this is, this was supposed to be a turf war, not just between new players in my county, but in all of the surrounding counties. The downside is, it seemed like there were just a bunch of general October events going on that kind of impede most people's abilities. Like, most of the people ranked in the Central PA or Berks County PA, like in any of their PR or just in their general rankings, a lot of them are college students or they work in awkward schedules, so they just wouldn't be available that day anyway. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to get a turnout. These are both Dark Kings again. These guys aren't. Okay, good. They'll spread the word, absolutely, but at the same time, is it a guarantee? And it's no guarantee. I don't know, it's gonna be funny if I post a YouTube video in a few weeks like, I hosted a terrible Smash Ultimate tournament in a small city. This is what happened. And believe me when I tell you, I'm thinking about it. It'll be funny if it happens. I'm trying to take as many photos and drum up hype as much as I can. I guess I'll tell you one thing I'm planning on doing just for the sake of being humorous. Whether or not this does anything important is not going to matter. Well, thank you. I think it'll at least go decently. I'm just not 100% sure. We'll see what happens when we get there. But an idea that I have is that there is this dude who is an amateur magician. He's a pretty skilled guy, actually, and he has done a few shows on his own, but he's not like, yeah, this is my first tournament. He's not, like, known at a state or national level, but locally he's a pretty big deal just because he's been practicing magic for a long time. Now, he and I have done shows in our community theater together for a good while. We have sort of an inherent rivalry type thing, I guess, because the characters we end up playing usually tend to be rivals or opponents against each other, and just in general, the fact that we're roughly the same age, but we have, like, different interests. We got nothing against each other, but we sometimes like to hype up this little rivalry we have between each other. Now, he doesn't really play Smash Bros. He hasn't since the Smash 4 days when he first started college, and even then he wasn't competitive at it. But I asked him if he could come to the event, not necessarily to register, but like before the bracket starts, he and I do a single game grudge match type thing to sort of settle our turf war together. Now, I don't know how he's actually going to perform. He didn't say he needed to practice or anything. We're kind of just doing this as a spectacle. Which, I thank him for agreeing to this, because that's a little bit of an awkward request, I'm not gonna lie. But he was a nice guy about it. It's a fun idea, yeah. I think anyone who knows us through the theater organization will get a kick out of it. And then I'll probably try to film it. I don't know if I can get a capture card that The problem is I don't really have a laptop to connect to my capture card that would make it run reliably. We could try that? I don't know. I guess we could try doing, like, a non-conventional stage, or we might just do something with, like... We might just do a Final Destination variation of a stage that kind of fits thematically. Because I'm thinking about it. Something I was expecting to get some level of backlash from the people I advertised this to. This isn't commonplace, but I put Final Destination and Battlefield as counterpick stages, which I know is not commonplace. Pretty much everybody always has at least one of those two as starters, usually Final Destination. My thing is, nobody really picks FD anyway, unless they both happen to be running characters that excel there. For goodness sakes. I know you said you've only been to one tournament before, but most everyone just tends to stick with either Pokemon Stadium 2, Small Battlefield, and maybe Hollow Bastion. Those are really the only ones people tend to go for anymore. But I put FD and Battlefield as counterpicks, and then I put Smash 4's Town and City as a starter stage, which I guarantee nobody's gonna pick except for a newbie. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen. Yeah, Small Battlefield is exceedingly common now. I think the main reason is because, number one, the platforms being a little bit bigger helps certain characters and hurts others. Two, more importantly, you get a better assortment of music. I think that's the biggest thing with Small Battlefield. Plus, if you just play online, you can set your settings to be Small Battlefield, and it's going to do that more often than not. So people are a lot more practiced for the little discrepancies of that stage, rather than the ones of Pokemon Stadium 2. Here we go again. It's Pick on Summon Skull Day. Why do I even bother? And I don't have blue medicine, so he's probably gonna perish here. Damn, I guess I didn't really think of that. I guess I'm just gonna have him guard and see what happens. If I lose Summon Skull, then it's whatever. Also, I'm not sure if you did something just now or if OBS is just being weird. It showed that my sub points just went up by 1, even though I didn't get a notification for anything happening. It did that once last week too, and I'm not entirely sure why, unless OBS is just being weird. Which would not be surprising to me. Unless I accidentally removed notifications or something, which is... I don't think I did. Yeah, just have the Summon Skull guard. I can War of Attrition these fools. I think. You're guarding. You're guarding. Okay. This will break the guard, and then Recurrent Box will finish it off. Well, would you look at that? I had a feeling. Thank you so much for subbing again. But why did OBS change like a minute and a half before I got the notification? That was weird. Alright, I think the skull's gone. Sadly. I'd have to survive 2 hits from Curse of Dragon. I don't think I'm getting that lucky. I'll chance it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, that seems like a good omen, but if his guard naturally wears down over that time frame, then that's not a good omen. Though I guess I just realized now I'm only 1 sub away from... Oh, okay, that makes sense. Maybe that is what happened last week, then. That's good by me. Now I'm only 1 sub away from doing the Mario Party minigame island thing. That's strange, but I have seen stranger. Alright, do I live? Ah, darn it. Okay, whatever. Mildly disappointing, but we can live with it. Alright, I'm gonna change that description right now. That's strange that it's doing that, though, but I guess I have seen weirder. Now that he's gone, though, I need to figure out what to replace him with. Dragon Seeker counted as a fiend, right? Because if so, I can just slot that thing in. If anything, that would have worked well for this fight. That is Chapter 2 in the bag. This was a bit of a step up, but thankfully we do get some benefits after this. Or is it after this mission or the second one? Or the third one, I mean. So I'm going to do one more before I stop this recording session. So let's see. Joey's got fanboys. Oh, a silver bow and arrow. We haven't gotten that in a while. And darn it, we don't... I'll give you a minor spoiler here. Tristan's joining our team at the end of this upcoming mission. I wish he would have joined it now, but we can finish this one quickly, so I'm not that concerned.